So this is for the guys that don't even know who I am. Let me introduce myself again. First of all, these guys like to get on here and brag about their firearms and what they're gonna do with what firearm they have. Let me explain to you. When you defend yourself, the firearm is not the solution to 100% of your problems. If you have no idea how to defend yourself at all, you cannot fight at all. And that is the only thing you got. You're going to open yourself up for a shit ton of trouble. Because what's going to happen is if this person is using physical force on you. I'm a former correctional sergeant. I had to memorize use of force inside and out to be able to do that job and write the reports. Every incident came with an incident report and a use of force report. I had to write those and I had to supervise officers. So, that being said, use of force is my thing. Let me explain this to you. The force that you're using has to be proportionate and reasonable. Firearm is deadly force. So, if you don't know how to de escalate, you don't know how to use proportionate force, you don't know how to walk away, and you just go for the firearm for any situation, you're going to go to prison because there's some threats that can be dealt with physical force but does not meet the deadly force standard. And if you use deadly force, you're going to go to prison. I've had many incidents where I've had to go hands on, and I actually prefer hand to hand combat because I have cross trained in four styles. I hold two black belts in two styles, currently working on my third black belt. This is why I don't mind hand to hand combat. It's a very scary thing for somebody that has not trained in martial arts at all. And the first thing is, I'm going to go get a firearm, and that's the solution. That's your solution. You're going to go to prison. If this is the whole reason I do not have firearms. Well, aside from the fact I'm 100% PNT disabled with PTSD, that's the main reason why I don't have a firearm. But even if it wasn't for that, I would not have a firearm in this house. I have a family, I have a dog, I have way too much going on in this house, and it's too dangerous for my family to have one of those things in here. So, what I do is I have nunchucks. I have that closet over there has got some swords in it, and I use hand to hand combat. But if I had to, I got a pair of nunchucks hanging right there. If I had an emergency, I grab those chucks and I handle business. If it's anything beyond that, I have to call the police. So, when you get on here and bash people for choosing this route, you're 100% in the wrong. And like I'm telling you, if you cannot fight, you have no room to talk. You're going to go into a situation, you're going to overreact and panic, and the first thing you're going to do is reach for that firearm because you have no other way to defend yourself. I had a guy, let me give you an example. Back before I got my 100% PNT for PTSD, I had a guy at the Greyhound bus station. I stopped him with one move, defensive sidekick. And I had a firearm on me. This is back before the PTSD diagnosis, officially. And I had a firearm. I couldn't use it. One, too many people around. Where, wherever that bullet goes, you're responsible for it. Too much innocent life. Second, the situation did not warrant deadly force. Because at this point, he was only merely a physical threat. So, he decided to take one step in the wrong direction. I hit him with a defensive front leg side kick, and I almost penetrated his rib cage. It stopped him with one blow. I break boards with that. So it stopped him with one blow. He grabbed his ribs, and he gave me a look, and he felt his ribs, gave me a look again, and he walked off because it hurt. That's the only thing I had to do, and I stopped the threat with one kick. The company was damn near ready to fire me because the company was like, "You're going to get me sued." The next incident, deadly force situation, dog. Now this is deadly force, straight to deadly force. I got demoted from the same company, and this is how I ended up in corrections. I put some bullets downrange, and the company was not too thrilled about that. So I got demoted. Then I went to security as an officer. Worked 10 months in Texas. Then I moved to Indiana for 5 years. Became a corrections officer and corrections sergeant. While I was in Indiana for 5 years, before I got promoted to sergeant, I had a crazy inmate. Normally, protocol will require a weapons team. However, due to exigent circumstances and a threat to life, because there was an innocent inmate in there, keyword is exigent circumstances, immediate threat to life. The innocent inmate was going to get his skull bashed in by a weapon. I entered the unit and I put myself in the way. Inmate comes at me. I hit him with a front leg, roundhouse kick to the solar plexus. He dropped like a sack of potatoes into the ground. And then I took the mop stick out of his hand at the same time and twirled it around like a bow staff. That weapon in the wrong hands is extremely dangerous, and there's a lot of range. A bow staff is a lot of range on a bow staff. So if you don't know what you're doing, you will get hit with that thing before you have a chance to react. So what I had to do was a game of timing. So I sat there, guard up, right back stance. I do taekwondo, right back stance, and I waited, and I timed it just right. He rushed in without thinking, and I timed it just right, and I executed the front leg defensive roundhouse kick to the solar plexus. The solar plexus is below the breastbone and above the diaphragm, the size of a quarter, and I hit that with pinpoint accuracy and dropped him like a sack of potatoes. Temporarily, I disrupted his breathing. Now, this is where you don't understand my education. In addition to my four systems that I cross-trained in, I know human anatomy. Means I will go for nerve bundles, brachial plexus, solar plexus, hyoid bone, joint manipulation techniques, throws, disarmament, striking techniques, kneecap, solar plexus, rib cage, things like that. Important vital areas is what I efficiently target when I'm defending myself. So when I do connect, my move is going to drop them. If they get close enough, close quarters combat, elbow strike, knees, inverted knife hand, chop to the brachial plexus. This move right here, that is the first dan black belt technique for the form Koryo in Kukiwon Taekwondo. Yeah, first dan black belt in Kukiwon Taekwondo as well. That move to the neck. Then you have Kukiwon blue belt form, where you have the elbow strike, where you grab the back of the head, elbow strike. That comes from the blue belt form. You see, I am a stickler for Pumse or form, and I still remember my Kukiwon Taekwondo Pumse. So these are techniques that I utilize in self-defense in addition to the new stuff that I'm studying as well. I'm trained very well. So now you understand how I think, how I move, and why these people don't stand a chance against me. I tore these people apart when I did corrections. They tried to hurt me, and I dropped them all into the ground. So I don't know what else to tell you. I I'm just good at what I do. I'm out of here.